Hi, this is Dustin Perry, the paranormal rock star, and you're listening to the Ghost Host with the most, Sophia Temperilli, only on liveparanormal.com.
Today we are celebrating Travel Channel's Season 3 of Kindred Spirits by welcoming back AMY BRUNI and Adam Berry. We will be learning behind-the-scenes extras and episode exclusives. Kindred Spirits airs on Travel Channel this coming Thursday, January 24th at 10 p.m. Eastern. Everyone for AMY BRUNI visit amy-bruni.net, strange-escapes.com, Twitter and Instagram at AMY BRUNI, at Strange Escapes, Facebook AMY BRUNI, and for Adam Berry, visit adam-berry.com, Twitter at Adam J. Berry, Instagram Adam Berry, Facebook Adam Berry Fans, and YouTube Adam Berry. Let's welcome them back into the show.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Hey, yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for coming back on, and congratulations on Season 3 of Kindred Spirits.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're so excited for the premiere on Thursday. We're just, we're boiling over with excitement.
To start off, can you tell us a little bit about how Kindred Spirits all came about and the moment you found out that everything you had been working on was becoming a reality?
Kindred Spirits for us was, we left Ghost Hunters, I want to say it was 2014, I think, and, we weren't like TV wasn't necessarily what we wanted to do next, but we came up with the idea for Kindred Spirits, and we thought, okay, this is if we are going to do another show, this is the show we want to do. And we pitched it, and the network totally understood it. They got it. Like, we wanted to do a show with heart that really showed follow-through and kind of tied everything up at the end and told a story. And they were on board. And I think that was just born of years and years of us doing investigations and kind of confirming hauntings, but not always doing anything to fix it.
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure. I think what the cool thing about it was that Amy and I got to continue the way we investigate on a bigger scale. Like we didn't just go in and look for ghosts and say, yes, this is the evidence we caught, the place is haunted. We were able to show you guys a more complete investigation, and I think that was one of our ultimate goals because we always wanted to do that in the first place.
For sure. It's such a great show because it's more natural in the way that you see these real people's lives being affected by spirits, and you're there to actually help them and, kind of ease their fears if it is just a relative, and you actually get to see the lives of people being affected by something that can't necessarily be seen.
Yeah, that was big for us because especially when the first 2 seasons was exclusively families, and, we'd walk into these homes and people were so desperate. And there was some pressure there because we were like, okay, we're doing what we want to do, but we both started doing this, before TV ever on paranormal teams of our own, and so we had those experiences, but it was like, we'd go in and do probably 10 or 15 cases, and maybe a couple would be that powerful, but this was just every single one was a desperate family, and it was. We could even see it when we were filming. We'd leave and go, oh my gosh, we just did that. We really just fixed it.
Yeah, a lot of people had already exhausted other resources, whether it be talking to a counselor or talking to friends, and I think a lot of the families that we deal with, and we're their last chance, and that's a lot of pressure. It's almost like we didn't want to fail at all, and we kept digging and pushing and trying to find the solution. And I think, I don't know how we do. I don't know how we do it. I think I think somebody, helps us along. I don't know how we do it. It happens.
We know what we're doing, Adam. Remember, we're professionals.
Exactly. Don't forget that. But it's incredible, and I think with season 3. We were able to help a lot of families, but also Amy and I got to go back and visit some of the places that we had been before, and the activity has changed a little differently, or a place that we felt like we wanted to do more for that location rather than just verify a haunting. And I think, with season 3, we do a little bit of bigger venues, cases, if you will.
And I know from my own experience living in a haunted house just how important it is, you know, to actually have someone be able to come in and actually kind of confirm what's going on. So it's really great that you're able to, you know, even if you can't get rid of the ghost, at least be able to confirm that what they're feeling isn't just in their head and there is something actually happening to them, because that can also just kind of bring comfort in knowing that they're not alone in seeing this or feeling this.
Yeah,
right, absolutely. That's very...
Yeah, go ahead.
That's
go
what
ahead.
I
You're
think
saying
we were
what I'm
probably
about
going to say the same thing. Yeah, I know, like we always do.
Yeah.
You know, we'll confirm a haunting, but we will always tell them who we believe it to be and why they're there. And that's the big thing, because sometimes once we get that out there, why they're there, and maybe even provide a solution, that's enough to kind of move this entity on. Like, we don't believe in the whole idea of crossing things over. We're more, we believe that every ghost that is here, this is just our theory, clearly, every ghost that is here and making a ruckus or whatever, they have a reason. They want something done. There's a message they're trying to get across. And as long as you can go in there and do that research and talk to them, you can provide a solution to them and to the people who are experiencing it. So that's really our ultimate goal.
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No. I was just going to say that's exactly it. I mean, I don't think anyone can prove that they've actually crossed something over. That's my opinion. I think, you know, you have to just do your due diligence to solve a problem and let whatever it is kind of move along on its own. We always compare it to if somebody just comes in and starts casting out whatever's in the house without listening to them, it's a disservice to the spirit. I mean, it's like if somebody came into your house and was just like, shoo, go away, and trying to like, shoo you out of your own house without listening to you. I mean, it's sort of disrespectful in a way. So we try to, you know, psychologists for the ghosts, ghost therapists, really, at this point.
Yeah, I totally agree. I actually went to school with a girl who had contacted me after we had been out of school for a while, and she was looking for help because a ghost was kind of just more like poltergeist activity. She had had a spirit around her, but it was moving things, it was making her lose them, and it was just kind of freaking her out. But I was able to find someone to help her, and they just said that the ghost was trying to distract her from some of the more serious things going on in her life, so she didn't feel so overwhelmed. And you know, there is a reason that a lot of ghosts are here, and they're just trying to help in some cases, or they themselves need help. So it's really good that you kind of piece together what they need so they can move on, or at least kind of diminish the activity and just go on about what they normally would do. For anyone starting out in the paranormal or just wanting to learn a better way to do research, what do you find is the best way to actually find factual information on a location?
I mean, it's a lot of work. I think that's why so many people don't do it. You know, it always, I do an entire workshop on it. It starts with obviously finding the history of the house and the property, and then you have to go through each and every one of those names and figure out what you can about them and their ancestors and any news involving any of them. And it is a process, and that's why it's great that we just kind of hone in on these places, because it's not easy. But but if you have, if you're doing your own house and you have the time, then it's you know, that's more manageable. But you have to find that core information, then head to historical societies, head to the town clerk's office, head to libraries, do interviews. Sometimes it's boots on the ground, literally knocking on doors next door and being like, hey, what's going on with this house?
Yeah.
Because, you know, the internet's great and it's made a lot of things more accessible, but really anything that happened prior to 1985, 1990, a lot of that's not on the internet, and you still have to find actual witnesses or people who've heard it through the grapevine kind of thing. So it's a lot, but it's my favorite part. I love the investigating, but there's an absolute rush when, we can get a piece of evidence or have an experience that correlates directly with some sort of history that happened on or nearby the property. So it's really fun. But then there's other times where we dig up all this amazing information and none of it has anything to do with anything. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and it always changes too. Like, don't ever underestimate. Like, you do all this work, and we dig and grab all this information, and then we try to use it in our investigation. And if none of it yields any evidence or gets any reaction from anybody, you got to keep digging. Or if you get information that doesn't, corroborate with anything that you already know, you have to find out why. And so there are nights that we'll investigate until 2 or 3 in the morning, and then we are on our phones or on the computer back at the hotel, like looking up names that we got in EVP sessions or something in a document that we found in a drawer, and then go back and investigate again. So it doesn't end while we rarely sleep really at that point. I mean, so you can't just pull up these facts and then go with it and expect them to be the answers that you need, because we never know the outcome, and it takes a lot of work to get there. That's for sure.
Well, that's definitely such great advice for any investigator out there. So thank you so much for kind of telling a little bit of the background of what happens behind the scenes with that. I do know we have to take a quick commercial break, but we'll be right back with more questions.
This is author Alexandra Holzer, and you're listening to Ghost Host Sophia Temperilli.
Hi, this is Jeff Belanger, host of 30 Odd Minutes, founder of GhostVillage.com, and author of lots of your favorite paranormal books, and you're listening to the Ghost Host Sophia on LiveParanormal.com. Boo!
Hey, this is Zach Bagans from Ghost Adventures, and you are listening to the Ghost Host Sophia Temperilli on LiveParanormal.com.
Congratulations to the Ghost Host, Sophia Temperilli, for celebrating 7 years of broadcasting on LiveParanormal.com.
Thank you again so much for coming on today.
Of course.
Wait, I muted myself. I muted myself on accident.
I knew
I wasn't
too
here.
Quiet. I was like,
I know.
wow,
I was like, I muted
so
myself.
quiet.
Where did I go?
Quiet and peaceful right now. What happened?
I was screaming, and no one could hear me.
That's okay. I've done that a few times as well. But to start off, I know you guys were talking about how many hours you spent on the road with ghost hunters, and now you're working on Kindred Spirits, going to events, coming on radio shows like this one. How do you balance family life and just kind of having a break and downtime?
I think the positive part of Kindred Spirits is we film it for a couple months, and so our schedule gets really crazy for a couple months, and then we're down, and so it's much easier to manage. We are able to do, we did our 10 episodes in under 3 months this season, and there's always time in between in between investigations as much as we can. We were a little rushed this season because they needed the show very quickly. But the last couple seasons, there'd sometimes be a week break here and there. And so, it's just like any job. There's busy times. It's like the Christmas season for retail, and then we suddenly aren't on the road. And when we travel for events, it's only on the weekends, and we usually do no more than 1 or 2 a month. And so the rest of the time, we're just home. So for me, personally, I feel a lot like a stay-at-home mom a lot of the time. I'm home probably 9 months of the year, and the office I do have is really close to my daughter's school, so I just kind of, when she's in school, I get my work done, or I'm at home doing homey stuff, and so it works.
Yeah, I agree.
Definitely.
I think there are times when we're really, really busy, and then there are times we're not so busy. I mean, there's always something going on. There's always an event to plan for or something to do. I mean, Amy runs Strange Escapes, which is her travel business, which takes a lot of her off time when she's not on Kindred, and I run a nonprofit theater company, so that's what I do most of the time when I'm not doing events and filming for Kindred Spirits. I mean, I don't actually know how we fit everything in, but we managed to balance it because it's on our own terms. I think that's the key. It's on our terms, and we make the schedule, and we decide certain things.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think it becomes easier because of that.
Well, it's definitely great that you have, kind of that block of time to go travel and then so much downtime because, I know that travel takes so much preparation, packing, unpacking, then moving to another location. So that in and of itself is just a lot of work. So to be able to have such a nice break, to be able to work on any side ventures like planning events or running your nonprofit, it's great to be able to have that.
Yeah, and we have an awesome crew. I think we have the best crew.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everyone says that when they work on a television. They're like, we have the best crew in television. But no, really, we have the best crew on television. And they are amazing, and they work really hard, and they're artists, like true artists, and they love doing what they do. And it helps because, they're passionate, and they're motivated, and so are we. And I think it all blends nicely together. So even though we do work, 3 or 4 months on Kindred, depending on how many episodes we film. I mean, crossing our fingers, we could be working a lot more. That'd be nice. But it's it makes it easier when you work with people who are committed and motivated.
Yeah, and some of our crew even came from Ghost Hunters. Like we went after some of the ones we really liked. So it's been really fun. We've had people that we've been working with for like over a decade now. And so it was really cool to be able to make that call and be like, hey, so we have our own show now. You want to come work with us? So it's really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that's really awesome that you were kind of able to keep that Ghost Hunters family together and bring it to a new show and just keep all of that together. I know it must be easier working with people that you kind of have that relationship with over years, because then it doesn't necessarily feel like you've left your family because you just went to a different family.
Right, but it's also, with crews, it's really important to have crew that has worked on a paranormal show before, because it's such a different animal than other TV shows. So in addition to them being like family to us, they also know how we work and how they need to be quiet and how they need to, say if they made a noise or if they heard something. Like it's a learned skill, and so it's nice to be able to have people that do that. And all of our crew, they've all come from some paranormal show or another. They've all worked. They've worked on Ghost Lab. They've worked on Paranormal State. They've worked on, what else did they work on? Ghost Hunters, obviously. But yeah, they've come from all over.
Yeah, I think Haunted, not Haunted Live. What was that? Was the Wrath Chaser show? I think that
Ghost Asylum.
Mike was on.
Oh,
Ghost Asylum, maybe.
Yep.
Ghost Asylum. I mean, and it's also a trust thing. Like, we trust these guys. We build this relationship with them, and that's a big factor in what we do. And I think it helps when you know who you're working with. We love our crew. Hopefully we'll get to see them again soon.
For sure. And I know also, speaking of crew, you have special guests come and help you on investigations. I know in the past you've had Chip Coffey come and kind of see what he can pick up at a location. With this upcoming season of Kindred Spirits, is there any special guests that will be appearing? And if you can say who?
Yeah, we
for sure.
We've got Chip. I think Chip's on half the episodes. I think he comes out for 5. We have John Tenney come out. We have Greg and Dana Newkirk. Grant Wilson is on an episode. We brought like the band back together.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we always say cool. Amy and I, we don't consider ourselves experts. We know a lot of stuff based on the cases that we've done, and we can draw upon actual experiences that we've had. But we have, our friends are also in the field, and they do this for a living, and each of them have things to contribute to cases that we may not know. They may have information. Like John Tenney has so much. He knows so much, and he has so many great. He's a great researcher, historian. He has great knowledge of a lot of different things, and so he's great to pull on for information. And Greg and Dana, obviously, they deal with haunted object, but Dana is an amazing. She deals with the metaphysics in investigating, like reading tarot cards, for instance, is something that Dana knows how to do very well, and we don't know how to do that. So, we could bring someone in for that kind of tool, I guess, if you will. And I'm glad we have these friends because, again, it's a trust thing. We know them. We know their abilities. We know they do. Mm-hmm. We know they're experts in we know that they're very knowledgeable in what they do. And it's kind of like this little, what is it? Like a Marvel comic. Like if we're like the X-Men of ghost hunters, of ghost hunting. We have all of us have different powers, and then we come together. I'm trying to we're like the DC comic version, Ghost Hunters. I'm trying to make an analogy, Bruni. Help me.
The Avengers?
I hear you, just grasping. I wanted to see how far you would go.
Yeah, but you get what I'm saying? It's like a thing. It's like we're like a little, I don't know, a little compound of paranormal peeps.
Well, yeah, we have people that we trust and we know very well. We work with them a lot, especially with Strange Escapes. This is like our crew that we travel with all the time, and so it's there's a comfort level there, and it's nice to have that. And I mean, obviously, as we meet other people and stuff in the field, we are never hesitant to call for help. Like if we feel like we don't know something or we need help with something, we are on the phone immediately because we want to get it right, and so we'll never pretend to know everything.
You're kind of like the Avengers, you have Hulk, Thor, Captain America, people from all different backgrounds coming together with the same goal in mind.
Yes, I'm Thor and Amy is Hulk. Exactly. I am Thor. Amy is Hulk.
I don't think that's right. I feel like that's not right.
She might be that Black Widow with the hair color.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, right? I'll take that.
Okay. Adam Berry, you immediately make me the Hulk? Like, what is happening?
She only gave me two options.
I'm never letting you live that down.
Well,
oh God.
It's awesome that you kind of have assembled that kind of group together that you can call in for different situations. There are a lot of different Avengers. I'm not great with all of them.
But I think that you guys picked two great characters. But with
yay.
Oh God. I feel like there's a meme in the making right there.
Oh God! Oh
I'm
no!
Sure someone will make one.
Please don't make me the Hulk, whoever you are. Make sure I'm not the Hulk. Thank you.
Yeah, make her the other one, please.
Black Widow. Yeah.
Make her the Black Widow.
Yes.
So, with the upcoming season in mind, I know you can't reveal too much, but is there a certain episode that you would say is your favorite of the season?
Oh God, I can't pick a favorite. They're all so good.
They're so good. They're so good.
I will say, and just because I know people are going to freak out when they watch like the previews and the first episode. So, we were down for a year because long story short, Scripps and Discovery merged, and it was this big thing. And so our show was kind of hanging there for a minute while they decided what channel they were going to put us on. And so for a year, we were collecting crazy cases. And so by the time we went to film and investigate, we had basically cherry-picked the most extreme cases. So every case this season is very extreme, and some of them are kind of dark because we wanted to help people, and these people were desperate, and every person that we went to go help, they had what they thought was some sort of negative type activity or extreme type activity. So, we obviously figure it out a lot, but I know the previews and some of the episodes, people are going to be like, wait a minute, what's happening to this show? But, same old us, just different kinds of cases and different locations. So it's a lot. It's a very action-packed season for sure.
Yeah, episode 302 is I think one of the best family case. It's probably the best family case that we have ever done. So there are so many good locations. Like I mean, we could probably say some of the locations without giving too much away. Like,
I've been
we
saying
definitely.
I didn't know.
Yeah. I mean, so we go to the Villisca Axe Murder House, but for we always have a different reason. So none of this is what you think. Like we didn't. There's a reason behind it. So don't think that we just went to Villisca to go to Villisca. Like there's a reason for going. So we went to Villisca. We went to Waverly Hills. We went to King George, Virginia. Yeah, Belgrove Plantation in King George. We did. There's a family case in West Boylston. There's a family case in Connecticut. There's a family case in. I mean, there's so many good cases. Maplecroft. Oh my God, Maplecroft is where Lizzie Borden moved after she was acquitted from the trial of the murder of her father and stepmother, and she lived the rest of her life in this mansion in Fall River that has never really had an extensive investigation, and we got to go there. So really, this season is definitely jam packed, and we're still helping. We're still helping families and helping our friends who some of them we know that own these places, and oh my God, I can't wait for you guys to see it. I can't wait.
Well, that's very cool that you get to do kind of a part 2 to the Lizzie Borden house investigation that you did on a previous season of Kindred Spirits.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it's interesting because it's a totally different location, and people have been wanting to get in there to investigate, for forever. And so it was nice. We actually spent, 4 solid days there, and it is beautiful. And actually, I should mention, while we're on that, is it Friday night, Adam? It's Friday night.
Yeah,
Friday night. There was a huge fire in Fall River where, this huge building burned down. And so Friday night, Adam and I are actually doing a meet and greet at Maplecroft in Fall River, Massachusetts. If anyone is around, come hang out with us for a couple hours. It's $50 at the door, but all that money is going to those fire victims. So you guys just show up and hang out with us, and that house has never been open to the public, so you can see inside. It's beautiful. So, quick shout out there.
Yeah, it's from 4 to 6, and I'm bringing up, if my phone would cooperate, I'll bring up the information so that people know the address. The address
You can just look on our social media. We posted it.
Yeah, look on the social media. We definitely posted it. But it's a place that no one has ever been to. And there's also a ghost hunt at the Lizzie Borden house right after that, which we're not doing, but it's limited to 15 people. But this is Friday, January 25th, and if anybody has any questions, they can call 508-675-7333. That is the number.
Yeah, it's worth a trip. If anybody's even nearby, drive up, stay the night. It's totally worth it.
It's very cool that you're giving back to the community and just helping out, with the places that you go and investigate, the towns that you're in. It's amazing that you're able to help even when you're not there on the show doing investigations.
Yeah, well, hopefully people show up.
Yeah, right. For sure.
We're sitting there, no one's there, just crickets. We're like, well, we tried.
We're just hanging out. Well, we have to pay. We pay for our own meet and greet. Here's $50, just so they have money. I know, it's so terrible.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people will show up. I know we're coming towards the end of the show, though, so are there any other websites, upcoming interviews? I know you recently were on Expedition Unknown. Any co-collaborations that you would like to mention?
Gosh, I mean, really just the Kindred Spirits. I mean, obviously we have a lot of great events coming up with Strange Escapes. We're going to Hawaii. We're going to the Queen Mary. Queen Mary only has 5 tickets left, but we're going to Hawaii, the Queen Mary, and we're going to St. Augustine Lighthouse next month.
End of February.
So, yeah, that website, strange-escapes.com, is where you can find out about all those events. Oh, we have a cruise in June. We go all over. So those are
a cruise in June. There is the Masquerade Mount Washington thing. Hopefully we'll get to do again.
Mackinac Island in October. Yeah, lots happening.
I mean, lots. But also, Kindred Spirits premiering next Thursday at 10/9 Central on the Travel Channel, and then repeating every Thursday for 10 weeks so far. And we will be tweeting along with people and live tweeting during the episode, obviously. So if people have questions, they can always reach us directly through that. And, just having fun. And, it's waiting. We're waiting like everyone else. Everyone else has been waiting for these episodes for so long, and we're so close to letting the cat out of the bag. So I think we got to get there. Every time I think about it, my heart kind of flutters a little bit because I'm like, woo, and getting anxious about it, but it's going to be fun, and I can't wait for people to see it. I cannot wait.
Oh, don't forget we're going to be live on Travel Channel's Facebook page that day, too.
Oh, yeah.
The day of the premiere, we're going to go live on Travel Channel's Facebook for a little bit, so check that out.
Oh, very cool. Well, I definitely can't wait to check out the upcoming season. Everyone definitely make sure to check out Strange Escapes. Those sound like such amazing events. And I want to thank you both so much for coming on today, and congratulations again on Season 3 of Kindred Spirits.
Awesome. Thanks so much for having us.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Have a great rest of your weekend.
All right, thank you.
You too. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Yeah, Amy and Adam were such great guests, and I want to thank everyone for listening today. The show definitely would not be possible without all of you, and I will talk to you guys again next week. Bye.
Hey, this is Zach Bagans from Ghost Adventures, and you are listening to the Ghost Host Sophia Temperilli on LiveParanormal.com.